So before we begin tonight, we've given each candidate 30 seconds to just say a little bit about yourself and introduce yourself. So tell everybody about yourself in 30 seconds, sir.
Hi, I'm David Niederhaus. I have 33 years plus extensive law enforcement experience. My experience is starting with the jail, goes to chief deputy and police chief. I have had the opportunity to supervise different aspects of the criminal justice system, such as patrol, K-9 programs, narcotics, and in criminal investigations.
All right. Like I said, we're going to have three different topics. This topic is leadership for tonight. So these will all be questions on leadership. The office of sheriff is a revered office in our great state. Many people who served as a county sheriff have become the unquestioned leader of their respective county, while others have served only to serve themselves at best or have been a complete disappointment at worst. We want to know about you as a person seeking the office of sheriff for Hill County. And so our first question tonight is a 2-minute question. Gigi's our timer. When you get to 15 seconds, she'll give you a notice to know your time's about up. Okay. All right. So the first question, why are you running for sheriff? And please include any leadership positions you've held in your career. 2 minutes.
I'm running for sheriff. I have been a chief of police and a chief deputy. Leadership is not a title. Leadership is someone that can go out, teach somebody how to hit their highest expectations. They're not the one, a true leader is not the one that wants to take the credit for everything, but they want somebody else to take the credit for it. It is learned. It's pushing it on. It goes beyond the sheriff department. It goes out into our public. We need to be leaders out in our public too, with our sheriff's department.
All right. The second question, this is a 1-minute answer. What is your leadership style? And give an example. 1 minute.
I lead by example. I will not ask somebody to do anything that I'm not willing to do myself or have not done. If the person does not understand how to get the job completed, I'll stand right beside them and do it with them. I'll direct them the right way or show them if they need to be shown. I have been out and helped many young deputies in learning how to do the job or how to answer specific calls. But I make them make the choice and then we'll discuss it.
All right. Our next series of questions have to do with the visibility of the sheriff's office. And so our first question to you, and this is a 2-minute answer, who should be the primary voice of the sheriff's office and why?
The sheriff should be the primary voice of the sheriff's office. Just like our other elected officials, y'all are the ones that are voting at the end of the day. The sheriff is responsible for anything and everything going on, knowing what's happening. The sheriff's responsible to lead, once again, the sheriff department and the public. He needs to be trusted, be seen. He needs to be out talking with everybody, finding out what your individual concerns are, what your neighborhood concerns are. We need to be working together as a community. We have a lot of folks, the sheriff needs to know who wants to come there. We have a lot of folks that want to assist in taking our county back.
All right. So our second question then is also a 2-minute answer. What is the best way for the sheriff's office to communicate to the citizens of Hill County?
Sheriff's office can communicate a bunch of different ways. They can communicate, once again, social media. They can communicate by putting things in the newspaper. My opinion is the sheriff's office needs to be out and get back to community policing. We need to get out of the car. We need to go back to the old school days where we could get out. We stopped and talked to somebody, check on them, just see how their day's going. Not drive past them, but really get out and check on them. They might have a concern that they don't want to call. There may be a specific deputy that they trust more than somebody else. They feel comfortable talking to that one rather than a different one. If we're out doing community policing, they'll get that opportunity to do it.
Our next question is also a 2-minute answer. So we've talked about communicating. We'd like to know from you what should be communicated to the citizens of Hill County. 2 minutes.
Of course, active cases, depending on the severity, a lot of information can't get out. And I understand that y'all understand that. Any action that the sheriff department does needs to be out in public. If, for instance, if we've got an issue with our jail, our public's going to be the one to support us to get our jail issues fixed. Thank goodness our commissioners' courts have been supporting us, but if they didn't for some reason, the public can help make that happen. If the deputies need something, once again, that needs to be out there. Our citizens need to be involved with us. If we're not communicating anything with our citizens, we need to make sure they're updated on what the new laws are. We need to make sure that they're updated on what our new strategies are going to be to help give your communities back. The drug enforcement problem is an issue with a lot of folks, and I've heard that concern all day. We need to talk. There's people that want to tell us things. So pretty much we need to have an open door as the sheriff department.
All right. And our last question regarding communications, 1 minute answer. What role should social media play in the running of the sheriff's office?
Social media, we can use social media in a bunch of different ways. We can put social media, cases that are solved. Of course, we let our public know the cases that have been solved. If we need help in solving a case, we'll run it through the attorney's office, figure out what information they want kept out, and we'll get that information out through social media. One of the deputies does something great, or one of our citizens does something great. We need to advertise that also. Social media can be good for an advertisement. We can set up a private line if somebody wants to contact the sheriff. You can contact the sheriff direct on social media, and nobody else gets to see it. I would have, as the sheriff, I would have direct access to that social media to where nobody else would have to look at it to take and look at the messages being sent.
All right. And the last question for the evening for you. 2 minute answer. We like to see, give us an example of a contentious workplace situation that you were involved in, and how did you solve it? Last question, 2 minutes.
As police chief in Rio Vista, we had a lot of issues over there. Best way to handle any issue in an agency is you get the ones involved sitting down with you. You sit, you try and discuss it and work it out. Once it all goes back to communication. We need to sit down, we need to be able to talk, and if we need to bring other people in to help us get the problem solved, that's how we're going to take care of the problems or any issues that we need to take care of. We can set up a board with residents if it's something that the residents need to be involved in.
Okay. All right, our last question. Good job. Thank you.